It's easy.
They're encouraged to make it. No, the next one
to think about a war in Afghanistan on a day like today. A day, like Jessica said, in the sunshine, when what you want to be is just lying still or walking with your friends or with your family or just shopping, doing normal things in life. I guess they have days like this in Afghanistan. It gets bloody hot and very cold at both parts of the country. But I can't imagine what it's like on a day like this to be an Afghani farmer going home and going to the family compound and not knowing whether your compound or the one next door is going to be inadvertently, by error, blown up by Australian SAS troops. I can't imagine for those troops what it's like walking in glorious sunshine and knowing that somebody is going to try and kill them. I can't imagine really what it's like to drive along Afghan roads every day and never know when some bomb is going to go off, or when the drone, the unmanned drone piloted by some idiot person back in Nevada, is going to drop a bomb on the compound next to yours. It's very hard to imagine those things. Maybe that's one reason why governments really are still not listening. Jessica mentioned that there are some 61% or more people in Australia who think it's time for us to pull out. That's the same in every major country which forwards troops to Afghanistan. In the United States, most people want Obama to pull out. In Britain, most people want Britain to pull out. In France, in Germany, in Holland, they did pull out precisely because so many people were opposed to that war. But here, we've just had an election with extraordinary events happening, but no discussion about Afghanistan. It was silenced. Last week, something pretty remarkable actually happened. One of the decent people in the Liberal Party, and there actually are a couple, one of those decent people, Mal Washer, who's a doctor from Western Australia, said he could no longer go along with this so-called bipartisan policy of denial of what's happening in Afghanistan. And all power to him. It's not a time in Canberra where politicians want to step out of line, so it's an even more courageous thing to do. The Greens have forced the government as part of their bargain to actually have a debate. Oh, how privileged we are. Parliament is actually going to talk about the most important Australian military commitment in the last 30 years. Before then, no, I'm sorry, it's not important enough to put on the agenda. The other day, Julia Gillard was in Afghanistan. Well, I think it's good that she went and good that she talked to our people there. They got a hell of a time. And then she went to visit Kabul to see President Karzai, the leader of the national government of the Islamic government of Afghanistan, the leader of what General Petraeus, the American general now in charge in Afghanistan, calls the criminal syndicate that is the government of Afghanistan, because that's effectively what we are supporting. We were told by John Howard almost 10 years ago we were going there under the ANZUS Treaty, would you believe? Under the ANZUS Treaty, to defend Australia, to defend America, but we were going there to support democracy. Well, it's going to be a long time coming to Afghanistan and we're making it worse. He said we're going there to stop Afghanistan becoming a state dominated by opium and heroin traders, a narco state. Well, we've done a pretty good job there. We've got a bigger and better narco state than anyone's ever seen before, and now heroin from Afghanistan is actually reaching into Australia. We know that now. He told us that we were going there to ensure that there will be no more Al-Qaeda attacks in the world, that there will be no more terrorist bases. Well, they actually achieved that goal in about 3 months, and the important question is, why didn't they get out then? We know that Al-Qaeda is no longer important in Afghanistan, but it sure as hell is important in other places it's been displaced to. And all the trillions of dollars that the United States, Britain, Australia and other countries are spending in Afghanistan, actually there is a real problem there. Terrorism of certain kinds is quite real. What we're doing, though, is producing the homegrown variety which is making life hell in Pakistan and Afghanistan and, in case nobody noticed, in India. It's time for us to get out. This is not a war that has any rational justification. It's really hard to use that terminology about a war in which so many people are dying, but there is no rational strategic interest in Australia. We are weakening what security we have. There is no reason for us to support a government which is corrupt at the top and we are corrupting all the way down with the millions of dollars that we are pumping into that country. What we need is Australia to say to its American ally, it's time to get out. We need Australia at the United Nations to get up the next time the Security Council takes a vote on this, and it's going to be very soon, in the annual vote in the Security Council to renew the mandate for war, to say, not only does Australia not support this war, we don't think the United Nations should be involved in it. We think the United Nations should be involved as an honest broker, and you can't be an honest broker if you're backing one side in a fight. This is now a fight, a kind of internationalised civil war between one group in Kabul, another group or a whole set of groups in the mountains. We've transformed that resistance into a kind of nation's resistance. First and foremost, they want the occupiers out, whatever else. The only good thing we can hope for is that, unlike in Iraq, those people in Kabul, the people in the mountains and in the desert still talk to each other. The splits are not so absolute as they were in that horrific Sunni-Shia civil war in Iraq. We know that in the past, many people with the Taliban and with the warlord groups have in fact been in office with the people in Kabul. We know they're related to each other through clan structures. There is a possibility of peace. What Australia needs to do is to work out how to get out of the way. Thank you very much.